Hello friends, this is Shrines and it's time for the alternate stories First Christmas. And I'm gonna start with St. Germain this time. It's an alternate story based on the events that transpired after Venice's route in the previous game Future Blessings. So hopefully it will go well, but please like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you think. I do appreciate it. Let's start this scenario. See what Saint has to say. Don't realize. A terrorist plot that threatened the entire world, masterminded by the genius scientist Isaac Beckford, the modern Prometheus. His desire was to become a god over humanity. His madness drove his desire to push civilization into enduring a global war. The cornerstone of this terrible plan was me, the daughter of Isaac, Cardia. Embedded in my chest, blossoming like some terrible flower, was a precursor to the Philosopher's Stone, the Horologium. This false heart, eternally beating with its poison running through me, is my curse. However, without having anyone to reach out to, without anyone being there to reach out to me, my fate to live my life as a monster. That quietly began to change on the day I took the hand of the gentleman thief. Then, to search for my father and to discover the purpose of my being born, I came to the City of Steel, London, where I met many of my friends. The magnificent gentleman thief, Arsène Lupin. The dream-chasing genius engineer, MP Barbicane. The sin-bearing alchemist, Victor Frankenstein. The mysterious, elegant noble, Saint Germain. The war hero dubbed as the human weapon, Abraham Van Helsing. Meeting each of them, the countless days I spent with them, this helped nurture the love in my heart when I thought I was but a doll. The things that gave warmth to my body when I thought myself a monster. This is why I was able to save him. My brother, who suffered yearning for love. I was able to make that confrontation. With the scientist who met a wretched fate, driven mad by his lost love. In the end, Father's mad plans vanished into the sky, along with his desires. I since returned to my home in Wales, where I now live with my little brother, Finis. At times, my friends visit me, and at other times I go visit them. However, my brother and I usually spend our days together in peace. And just when I began to get used to this newfound lifestyle, winter and its crisp air had arrived sooner than I could realize. Every breath, a white cloud in the winter cold, and the wind brings with it a frosty bite now. It's a season that is inherently quiet, inherently lonely, but I am certain this town cares not for the cold and is filled with liveliness today as usual. No, in fact, this winter will be more exciting than ever. It was only a few days ago that I found out. This year, it seems London is planning a grand Christmas celebration to coincide with the unveiling of the Reconstruction Memorial. Led by Queen Victoria, Christmas trees will adorn streets all throughout the city. There will be many stalls at the Christmas market as well. If the city is decorated with holiday colors, I'm sure it will look more beautiful than usual. And on such a joyful day as that, it's hard to picture Lupin and his fun-loving crew simply sitting by doing nothing. Something is bound to happen when Christmas arrives, that much is certain. My chest is full of excitement as I consider the holiday that is fast approaching. Yes, this is a story of a particular Christmas that occurred in a darling Wintertide London. I am not certain of how many times I have felt this way. However, every time I come here it returns. The thought that this place does not change. Soft wind, plucking the branches and leaves, constantly flowing about a set point. Without ever being tired of doing so, the birds chirp for people in the way that they always do. Deep within the forest of fog, the main base of the synchronization idea. Today, like any other day, a piece coming from a tiny garden one might think eternal resides. Whether the world may be exposed to calamity, whether the time of a great innovation arrives, this land, as if to have been left behind by time, it continues to exist without change. Yes, even though just the other day, battle determining the fate of the world had occurred. Oh, I love his outfit. It's so cool. I like him in green.
季節が巡るほどの時間が経った以上、もうつい先日とは言えませんか。
そうね。私たちにはほんの刹那でも、人の子には十分長い時間でしょう。
The leader of IDEA, a group that guides history, and the owner of this miniature garden, Omnibus. Oh, she's the leader? With a calm smile, she slowly sips her cup of black tea. That dog is cute.
不思議なものね、さん。世界を破滅に導く忌まわしい計画の阻止には、最悪の鍵となる双子の抹消が不可欠だったはずにもかかわらず、こうして計画はついえ、双子はどちらも生存している。まさかこんな未来が待っていたなんて、私自身想像すらしていなかったわ。冗談よ、リリス。この結果に少し驚いただけ。さあ、遊んでいらっしゃい。
Lilith, who was waiting next to Omnibus, makes a single cry and dashes into the wide garden. The old woman smiles to herself as she watches Lilith among the flowers.
驚いたのは私もですよ。オムニブス、あなたの予言が外れたことなど、私の記憶にある限り一度もありませんから。
そうね。今この未来も本来なら訪れるはずのないものだった。
ですが、こうして迎えてしまった以上、それはもう否定のしようがない事実。
Most likely, the future that Omnibus saw was supposed to be the proper course of history. But the reason such a different form had shown was due to the intersection of many factors. This includes the twins, bound by fate, and the members of Lupin's crew. Queen Victoria as well as many others who live in London. And finally, due to the ideal apostles reaching for that small possibility. Such an unpredicted new fate was pulled in. Disregarding whether that was actually the case, this was the only way I could think of it.
月並みな言葉を使うなら、私たちを含めた一人一人の行動があなたの予言した運命を変えた。 それこそまさに奇跡だったのでしょう。
奇跡ね。久しく馴染みのなかった言葉だわ。
Omnibus speaks quietly as she brings the tea to her mouth slowly, as if to meditate on those words.
報告がまだだったわね。さん、ロンドンの様子はどう？
復興は順調に進んでいますよ。事件の際、各所に散った使徒が被害を抑えたのも大きいのでしょう。ノーチラスの砲撃による爪痕が完全に消える日も遠くないかと。
Also, seeing that damage happen right before our eyes, seeing the world is becoming weary of war, Queen Victoria is currently leading her policy towards a peace treaty. The United Kingdom, the greatest military power, turns from its old policy towards peace. Looking closely at the turning point of history, Omnibus makes a light nod.
この機に行動を起こす国が出ないか、多少の懸念はあったけれど、そこも各国に派遣しておいた人たちが戦争へつながる軽率な動きを抑えてくれた。ひとまず当面の危機は去ったと見て良さそうね。
では、これで一段落ということです。
Even so, I sent a silent prayer out for the few who had become victims. Omnibus gently returned the teacup once she finished hearing my report.
さて、あとは、そうね。カルディアとフィーニス、あの兄弟の処遇だけれど、ホロロギウムの力が失われた以上、あの子が最悪の種となる可能性は極めて低くなった。完全に目を離すわけではないけれど、妙な動きさえなければ放置という形で
となると、もう今後は定期的な監視も不要ということですか。
That is definitely good news for those who desire a peaceful life. It is good news, but at the same time, I suddenly think, ever since that incident, Hanzo and I have been checking in to see how they were doing under the pretext of regular surveillance. However, if we are relieved of that position, then we won't have the pretext anymore. For me, that was quite unfortunate to hear. Aw, Saint.
何やら残念そうね。別に会いに行きたければ行きなさいな。今さら理由や建前なんて気にすることでもないでしょうに。
いえ、兄弟水入らずのところ必要以上に干渉するつもりはありません。それにフィーニスの方は私と顔を合わせるとなると心中複雑でしょうから。
You look scary, Phineas. Yes. Though unavoidable due to my position, I have many deaths to the Phineases during that battle? What? If he, the last remaining of them all, held some reservation toward me, then it is only natural. Doing so was the only way to salvation for those Phineases. If I can isolate my feelings like Hansel said, then it would be a weight off my mind, but no matter what, my current self cannot seem to do the things I have been able to do until now. Before, it was a very natural thing to separate myself from necessary victims.
それより、オムニブス。私の次の任務は一体何を？そのために私を呼んだのでしょ？
そうね。してもらいたいことならいろいろとあるのだけれど。
Closing her eyes and shifting in her wheelchair, Omnibus seemed to be thinking about something. The words that are spoken at the end of the short silence are,
イデアの使徒サンジェルマン、イデア総帥として次の指令を下します。しばらくの間、お休みを取りなさいな。
During my long life as apostle, I've never taken a mission like this. Leaving the house that Omnibus lives in, I walk through the forest where fog drifts. There's no need to search nor follow a path. One will get through eventually. This space works in that way.
なんとも変わりましたね。オムニブスも。
The leader of Idea, Omnibus until now was in command to make sure to crush the omens of ruins that she predicted. There's no room for uncertainty to be mixed in amongst those commands. Before, I am sure she would have refused a word such as a miracle which could not be measured. However, this version of her I just saw did not deny it, and had even smiled as if she were as happy.
変わったというなら、私も言えたことではありませんか。
After bringing Cardi and Lupin's crew to observe at the mansion as ordered, though I was ordered to kill her, I prolonged her destruction many times. The objective was always to kill the twins, and there was no point killing her first. He was the bait to lure her little brother, Finnis, so it was too early to kill her. Okay, he was supposed to take her out. Piling such excuse on top of the other, at the end I wished to save those twins even if I had to go against Idea's orders. Before that one instance, I was always able to perform any mission in a detached manner, but... My goodness, what has come over me?
どれもこれも彼らのカルディアさんの影響ですかね。
The days I spent with them in the mansion, the noise of daily lives that I hold so dear. They had brought me something. My heart was dead to living for so long. This is why right now, even just a little, I cannot help but feel nervous to go back. Because
おや、気づけばもうロンドンですか。
as I ponder, my sight suddenly becomes bright. Beyond the edge of the forest of fog is the forest area of Greater London. I squint my eyes against the sunlight passing through the leaves. There is no rest for Idea's apostles. The world is constantly filled with bad omens and increases in number by the moment. But for her to tell me to take a break,
さて、突然降って湧いたこの休み、一体何をするべきでしょうかね。
without finding answers to the questions, I continue walking towards the city of London. The mansion of Count Saint Germain stands in the forest area of Middle London. From the cities of Rome and Paris to the new continents of Asia or even Africa, I have mansions all across the world, but this mansion here in London is the one that is the most special to me. There is no need for me to explain now how it came to be so special. Starting with Cardia. It's where we all gathered, Lupin's crew. The place where we laughed, the place we lived, and where we encountered our fate. This is the only place. The only place I could call home. This is why as I step into the hall, as I take a look around, I say,
ただいま戻りました。
Oh, no one's there to greet him? As my voice ceases to echo, a curtain of silence fills the surroundings. What I hear instead is a slow, steady ticking of the grandfather clock. Even though I wait a moment, standing in place, no response will break that silence. It's only natural. After all, in this house.
私の他には誰もいないのですから。
You'll realize the mad plan by Isaac Beckford, the string that connected us, Lupin's crew. After the terrible plan that sought to destroy London as a stepping stone was halted, the members, each with their own objectives, begin to walk their own separate paths.
もういい加減、この静けさにも慣れないといけないのでしょうが。
I speak out loud as I change my clothes. Oh yeah, he did change. Looks pretty though. I say that in an attempt to persuade myself, but I change my thoughts and walk down the hall. What I should be more concerned with is how exactly to spin this break. Oh, can I save? Yeah, I can save. Okay. Well, let me save. Well, I'll pick one. I could go on a journey. What I should be more concerned with is how to exactly spin this break, relax in the mansion. I want to go on a journey.
いっそ、私も久しぶりに気ままな旅にでも出てみますかね。
In actuality, it is not a bad idea at all. I have flown all around the world in this long life of mine. Visiting towns I came to centuries ago would make me happy or sad to see how they changed. Searching for views or skylines that have remained unchanged amidst all the ones I believe this will provide a very fun time.
なかなか悪くない。そうと決まれば、早速荷造りをして屋敷の留守を。
I trail off as I realize something. If I leave, then there will not be anyone at all in this mansion. Welcome back. If no one was here to greet someone who was returned home, if they were welcomed by the soft but unsatisfying silence, I am sure that person would be saddened. Especially if that person is that girl who knows very well the loneliness of solitude.
旅行はまた今度ですかね。
It is a foolish emotion if I say so myself. It is quite unlikely to say that she will come here on a whim. But even so,
どうせ時間の有り余っている身。こんな休暇の使い方も悪くない。ならばひとまずのんびりと屋敷の掃除でもしながら過ごすとしましょうか。ああ、いつの間にやらもうだいぶ秋も深まってきましたか。この時期ばかりは定期的に履かないとすぐに落ち葉が溜まってしまいますね。
since that day when Omnibus gave me that break, I have had too much time on my hands. I began with a deep cleaning of the mansion. It is quite a large building, but I have been cleaning regularly and I do not have very many things. Just lightly dusting off the rooms would suffice for most of them. Yes, but with a few exceptions.
やはり真っ先に片付けるべきはこの場所でしょうね。
Empy's place. The wooden boxes cluttered all over the place, the tools spilling out from all sides. Many parts of unknown use scattered throughout the courtyard area called Empy's workshop. His workshop, filled with various things, was a manifestation of Empy's mind. I know he would resist a cleanup even if it were forced upon him, but now that the owner of the workshop is not here, it is the perfect chance for correction, or in other words, a proper cleaning.
では失礼しますよ、インピ。こちらはオートモービルの部品、予備のライトと蒸気圧シリンダー。これは確かカルディアさんに近づく危険人物を感知して警報を鳴らすとかいう鎮発命でしたか。てい。私に反応して鳴ったということはきっと不良品だったのでしょうね。
I feel like he totally destroyed that alarm. Throwing it into the trash as I pretend to not understand what happened, I sort out each object and continue cleaning up.
ルパンたちが帰ってくる前に掃除が終わればいいんですが。
It's been about half a month since the two of them set out. I'll be going to France for a while. There's someone that I would really like to report that Colt realizes has been put a stop to. As Lupin said, he left with Impy, who was saying that he wanted to stock up on high-performance parts made in France. I wonder if he has already met with that person by now.
よしよし、機体バランスは正常値だし、これで助手席の設置も完了っと。オッケー相棒、オーニソプターちゃんもこうして見事に二人乗り仕様に生まれ変わったし、これでもう今からだってフランスまで飛んでいけちゃうぜ。
おや、予定よりだいぶ早いですね。天才技師の面目躍如といったところですか。
へへ、当然ルパンのやつがフランスまで乗せてけって言った時どうしようかと思ったけどさ、俺もちょうどオーニソプターちゃんの長距離飛行実験をしようと思ってたから、まあ渡りに船ってやつ。
ああ、突然で悪いなインピー。どうしても行きたいとこがあってよ。でそれはそうと、その助手席ってのはどこにあるんだ？まさかこの機体の下についてるブランコ的な何かじゃねえよな。ん？
さすが我が相棒、ご名答。いや、短距離ならまだ行けるにしても、基本この子って一人乗りなわけじゃん。そこでインピーさん考えました。ルパンは吊るして運べばいいじゃない。
Wow, Impy.
わお、スパナ投げるとか危ないっての。つうか、麗しき泥棒紳士様は暴力が嫌いじゃなかったのかよ。
うるせえ！今のは暴力じゃなく抗議だ、抗議。こんなご機嫌なブランコでドーバー海峡を渡れるわけねえだろうが、とっとと作り直しやがれ。
試しもしないうちから否定するのはよくありませんよ。まあ見た目だけで言うとロープで馬に引きずり回される犯罪者のようですが、あの様子ではしばらく滞在する予定でしょうし、帰りはまだ先でしょうかね。
Until then, it seems I will continue a quiet mansion life by myself for a while. Letting a small breath out, I stretch my hand towards the tools that have been left out. The day following my massive cleaning of Impy's workshop, the most difficult spot. The place that I thought cleaning up next was a room that contrasted the workshop. A clean, simple room that shows no signs of wear, a minimal amount of furniture. In the corner, neatly folded bedding is stacked up out of the way. The only things identifying the room's owner are the bandages and medical equipment that were placed on the shelf just in case. Victor's room?
引っ越したとはいえ、何かあった時は泊まりに来ることもあるわけですし、もう少し私物の類を残しておいてもよかったんですけどね。フランも。
すみません。ありがとうございます、伯爵。今までお世話になっていたのに、荷造りまで手伝ってもらって。
固いことはいい子なしですよ。私は仲間としてできることをしているだけです。
ありがとうございます。
それにしても仮想外で診療所を開くとは随分思い切りましたね。
確かにそうですね。実を言うと政府機関からも誘われてはいたんですけど、最終的にはこっちを選びました。
それはまたどうして？研究室で新薬の開発をするのも立派な人々への貢献だと思いますが。
ええ、僕も恵まれた環境での研究を否定するつもりはありません。でも研究室に閉じこもっていては見えないものも届かないこともきっとたくさんあるから、僕は今回の件を通じてはっきりとそう学んだんです。だから人々が何を求め診療所で人々と触れ合うのは、それを知るための第一歩なんです。
立派な考えです。では私から何か言うのも野暮ですね。ではせめてあなたの成功を祈って開業祝いの一つも贈りたいところですが。
あれ、シシどうしたの？
シシーも寂しいのでしょう。あなたと会えなくなってしまうことが。
すっかり懐いてくれたのは嬉しいけど。
そうだ、フラン、養育費も出しますし、よろしければシシーを引き取っていただけないでしょうか。
僕が？
ええ、私は任務で留守がちですし、ルパンたちもいなくなることは多い。その点あなたは定住するわけですし、何よりシシーは彼女を除けば一番あなたの言うことをよく聞きますから。
どうする？シシ、君もそれでいい？
Yay, CC! But it's been a while since he left. There have been a few opportunities to see him in lower London. Even still, I have not yet been able to see him due to the increasing popularity of the clinic. But I wonder if it would be okay if I take him a gift sometime.
ともあれ、喜ばしいことです。若者が自身で選んだ道を歩んでいくのは。
The young genius in the world of alchemy, Victor Frankenstein. There was once a time Idea had been watching him for his abilities, but I am sure that with his current mindset, he will no longer deviate from the right path. Holding such conviction, I start to wipe and clean the windows. Cleaning. The next day, and the day after. Other than devoting myself to cleaning, ever so calm days of having nothing particular to do pass by. I think to myself how ironic it is. Having been given a break from Idea now, what was also known as a symbol of stopped time. It feels like time has stopped even more than when I'm on a mission. The only way I discern the days passing is the gradual cleanliness of the rooms. The area I clean up today is around the gate of the mansion. Brick walls begin to bake under the sunlight. Even the parts of the fence that appear clean have paint cracking and peeling. However, I'm not in the mind to completely rebuild or remodel it. Perhaps it is silly of me to be particular. If possible, when those who are out journeying return, the same gate should be here to welcome them. Yes, for example, just as I saw off those who had left to protect surviving vampires.
長い間世話になったな。伯爵、改めて礼を言わせてほしい。
無論、世も同じ気持ちだぞ。家族と故郷を失った我らにとって、この場所は第二の家と呼べるだろう。
その言葉だけで礼としては十分に過ぎますよ。まさか当初は敵対していたあなた方からそのような言葉を聞ける日が来るとは。
柄でないのは自覚しているさ。
ロンドンを出てまずは北に向かうのでしたね。
ふむ、あちらの方に逃げ延びた 我らが一族がいると噂を聞いたのでな。
なるほど。慣れない土地での旅ですし、くれぐれも気をつけて。
問題ない。旅なら慣れている。子守をしつつとなるとさすがに初めてだが。
誰が子供だ。貴様だって図体がでかいだけで中身は子供ではないか。
Ah, Delhi. Van Helsing and Delacroix II, I saw them off on their journey from the Scape. Out of all Lupin's crew out on their journeys, I have the least opportunity to see those two. Though, according to their letters, the vampire protection activities have begun recently, and it seems they have some time to spare.
次にロンドンへ来るのは果たしていつになることやら。
Winter must be close. Looking up as these thoughts pass by, the sky above me feels far higher. And on that note, I'm going to end this episode. It's been pretty interesting to see all the Count's feelings, having him have a break. It's been interesting so far. But please like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you think. I do appreciate it. And next time we will continue on and hopefully we'll meet Cardia in this route.